Gaara versus Konan. We're talking about the man who turned a desert into a graveyard versus the woman who turned a sea into 600 billion explosions. Everybody knows Gaara's a monster. He's got the absolute defense, he's got the scale to shield entire villages, and he can bury you under a mountain of sand before you even blink. But Konan? She's a ghost. She's an Akatsuki legend who nearly ended Obito Uchiha's entire ninja career. So, when the ultimate shield meets a rain of paper that never ends, who actually walks out of the arena alive? Hit that subscribe button, grab your popcorn, sit back and relax. You've got to stay until the very end, because once we break down the tactical physics of sand versus paper, you'll realize this fight is not even close. Alright, let's go. To understand Gaara's power, you have to look past the boy with the jar. By the war arc, Gaara is a tactical genius with defensive feats that dwarf almost anyone in the series. Gaara's mastery over sand is no longer tied to the Shukaku. It is his own chakra and his mother's will. His sand shield isn't just a move, it's a sentient defense mechanism. It operates on a subconscious level, meaning even if Gaara is unconscious, the sand will still move at supersonic speeds to intercept an attack. But Gaara's real capability lies in his sand compression. He doesn't just move loose grains, he uses his chakra to pressurize the sand, forcing the grains together until they are physically harder than steel. We saw the peak of this with his Shield of Shukaku, a defense so dense it's practically unbreakable by physical strikes. Offensively, he possesses the sand tsunami. Gaara doesn't just throw sand. Every grain of sand bends to his will. He vibrates the earth beneath your feet, grinding rocks into a tidal wave that he controls with a flick of his wrist. Once you are caught in his sand waterfall funeral, the pressure isn't just external. He forces the sand into your pores and lungs, crushing you from the inside out. He also possesses the sand sensing ability, allowing him to detect invisible or dispersed enemies just by the vibrations in the air. In a deathmatch, Gaara isn't just a fighter. He's an environmental hazard with zero blind spots thanks to his third eye. Now, let's talk about Konan. Her power isn't about raw strength. It's about molecular versatility. Through the dance of the Shikigami, Konan has achieved a state of near-intangibility. She has mapped her entire nervous system and physical form onto paper. When she's attacked, she doesn't take damage. She simply deconstructs. Her wings aren't just for aesthetics. She can actually fly with them. She can hover in the dead zone, where most shinobi are helpless, raining down paper spears and shurikens that are hardened to the density of diamond. Konan can turn her very body, clothing, and weaponry into paper. This makes her nearly immune to physical trauma. When attacked, she simply disperses into thousands of sheets. And we have to talk about her greatest feat against Obito. She prepared 600 billion paper bombs, enough for 10 minutes of continuous city-level explosions. She even demonstrated the ability to make her paper waterproof and oil-resistant with enough chakra, meaning she can adapt her biology to counter her environment. Her paper clones are arguably the best in the series, because they don't just poof away like normal shadow clone. They are rigged to explode, turning every melee encounter into a potential suicide mission for her opponent. Whether you get close or not, you'll become her victim. The clash. This is where the physics of the deathmatch get interesting. Konan's biggest advantage is her ghost-like nature. In a direct physical struggle, Gaara's sand might struggle to grab her because she can simply disperse. If she stays in the air, she forces Gaara to expend massive amounts of chakra just to reach her. However, Gaara has a counter that is often forgotten: weight and friction. Sand is the natural enemy of anything lightweight. If Gaara manages to infuse his sand into Konan's paper sheets, he adds friction and weight. We saw how his father used gold dust to weigh down Gaara's sand. Gaara can do the same to Konan. Once her paper becomes dirty with sand, she loses her speed and her ability to fold or fly. But here's the catch. Konan's paper is microscopic in thickness. It can slide through the tiny gaps in Gaara's sand shield. If she manages to slip just one explosive tag inside his defense, the absolute defense becomes a pressurized oven. This isn't just a fight of power. It's a fight of who can breach the other's shell first. So, who wins? If we are talking about a neutral arena with zero prep time, Gaara takes this 7 times out of 10. The reasoning comes down to scale and stamina. Konan's 600 billion tag feat was a masterpiece of preparation, but in a sudden deathmatch, she doesn't have that volume. Gaara, however, carries his weapon with him and can create more from the ground. His ability to block Deidara's C3 bomb proves he can handle city-level explosions. and his sand sensing allows him to track Konan even when she's dispersed into thousands of pieces. Konan is a precision assassin, but Gaara is a mobile fortress. Eventually, the angel runs out of chakra to fold, but the desert never runs out of sand. One mistake, and the sand closes in forever. But I want to hear from you. Do you think Konan's speed and paperslip ability could bypass the Kazekage's defense? Or does Gaara just have too much raw power for her to handle? Drop your answer in the comments. I'll be looking for the best logic. If you enjoyed this video, hit that like button, subscribe, and share this video. Until next time, stay curious and stay connected.